Good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome to Sports Performance. And we'll do a little mindset reset at the end. Today is going to be day 2, week 4 of phase 2. So it's going to be our rotational day. We do need a set of dumbbells for our one of our rotational exercises today. If you want to have 2 sets of dumbbells, always recommend that so you can have one to drop down to when things start to get a little funky at the end. And we are going to do 3 rounds. We're going to start with 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest or transition time, and then work our way down to 40 seconds and 20 seconds. So that is going to be our timing for the day. So first off, what we're going to do is we're going to start with a rotational bound. So with a bound, it's just going from one foot to the other foot. So since we're going rotational, what we're going to do is we're going to start on one. So I'm going to face this way first. We're going to sink into that hip. We're going to jump, land facing the other way, stabilize, and then go back to the way we're facing. So gather yourself, jump, land nice and soft on the other side. We don't have to be doing a huge jump here. We just really want to be facing forward and then jump over facing the other way. So that's going to get us some rotational movement here. And then after that, we're going to go ahead and grab our dumbbell. So we only need one right now. We're doing a rotational squat to press. So feet are going to be hip width apart here. We're going to squat down. And as we stand up, we're going to rotate and press over our head. So my dumbbell right now is in my right arm. So we're going to squat down, rotate towards the left. So hips are driving towards the left. So we're going to do all on one arm. And then the next thing we'll do is the other side. So squatting down, rotating as we push up, and then squat down, rotate and push up. So those are the first 3 things. And then that's the only thing we need the dumbbell for. So the next thing we're going to do is an alternating reverse lunge with the rotation as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to step back with one foot. As we're down on the ground, then we're going to rotate towards the front leg and then center and then stand back up. So it's a lunge and then a rotation and then standing back up. We don't want to step back and rotate at the same time and then rotate as we stand up. We want the rotation to be separate. So that's the fourth thing. And then lastly, we are going to do a plank, and then we're going to bring the knee to the opposite elbow. So coming up, over and across, touching each knee to the opposite side. So that is going to be our whole circuit today. And then, so we're going to start with 50 seconds of work, 10 seconds of transition time, and then 45, 15, 40, 20. So that is going to be the plan for today. So let's go ahead and start off with our warm-up. So we're going to go ahead and be on our hands and our knees here. And since it is our rotational day, we're going to do some rotation. So I'm going to start with my right arm. We're going to reach through in between the left arm and the left leg. Nice big inhale. And then we're going to exhale, opening up towards the ceiling, gazing past that thumb, getting our spine some rotation here. And then we're going to inhale, reaching through, reach a little further this time. Exhale, open up. Oh, this side is tight. And one more, reaching through, inhaling. And opening up, exhaling. And then let's go ahead and plant that right hand back under our shoulder. And we'll do that same thing on the other side. So reaching through left arm, inhaling. And exhaling, opening up. And nice big inhale. And exhale, opening up. And last one, inhale, reaching through. And exhale, opening up. All right, last part of our warm up here. Let's go ahead and get our hips nice and warmed up. So we're just going to do some quad rocks here. So knees a little bit wider than hip width, hands under the shoulders, keeping that core tight. Bring the glutes to the heels. Holding for a second or two, and then squeezing those glutes to come back up to center. So we're gonna get our body ready for some squats today. My legs are tight from the workout this morning. I also did my 9.11 miles on the bike this morning, so already got nice and sweaty, ready to do it all again in this workout. Let's go ahead and do 2 more rocks back. And wherever we're at, let's make this next one our last one. All right. And once we finish that last one, I think we're ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to get the timer started. So we're doing 50 seconds this first round. And we're aiming to get 3 rounds in, which I think we're definitely going to have time for that. If not, we'll just do 2 rounds and then we'll do more mindset reset. All right, getting the timer ready here. 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're starting with our rotational bound. So we're starting facing one way. So I'll start facing the camera, gather into that hip, and then we're going to jump, landing facing the other direction. So we're going basically 90-degree angle back and forth. We don't need to be going the other direction here because we are getting the rotation on each leg and it evens out this way. So no need to be moving in circles. We're just going back and forth, landing nice and soft on that foot. We don't really have to jump too hard, too far. We can really step nice and wide too. It's just going to help us work on our landing mechanics, which again, are good for sports performance, but it's also good to help prevent injury in general during life. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, we're going to grab 1 dumbbell here. We got rotational squat to press. 3, 2, 1. So dumbbell at the shoulder, feet hip width apart, squat down, rotate those hips. So the right hip is moving towards the left, coming up on that right toe. So this is very similar to a softball or baseball swing, or even a golf swing, which would be perfect to prepare for the golf tournament. If we didn't have to cancel that, because that was supposed to be on Monday. Sad day. That's okay, we'll have another one. So really pushing that dumbbell up as we snap our hips. We're gonna, just like with curtsy lunges, we got those headlights on our hips. We're gonna blind that direction. So the right hip is coming all the way around. So I wanna get as much rotation as we can. 3, 2, 1. All right, maybe doing quads and delts before this wasn't a good idea either. Going to the other side here. 3, 2, 1. So feet are hip width apart again, coming the other direction. So that left hip going all the way around. We can go up on that left toe, but we're going to be blinding the right side of us, whether that's the wall or whatever you have on the right side of you today. We're getting our hips all the way around. All one movement, squatting down, and then use those legs to help our arm get above our head here. So making sure to keeping that chest up, back nice and flat, whole foot on the ground. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go ahead and set that dumbbell down, and we're going to do reverse lunge with rotation. 3, 2, 1. So we're going to step back. So my left leg is in front, rotating towards the left, and then standing back up. So like I said earlier, we're doing the lunge, rotating, and then coming back up. So there are 2 different movements, so we can focus on each one. Because if we do it all at once, we're not really going to use that core to rotate as much. So I want to make sure we're stepping back, keeping our legs nice and steady, turning, exhaling, coming back up. So our legs, our lunges are just our legs, and the twisting is really coming from the core. We need to be mindful about our movement, moving with intent here, going nice and slow through that twist. 3, 2, 1. All right, last thing here, we got our plank, knee to opposite elbow. 3, 2, 1. So on the hands and toes, exhaling, coming across the body, getting that knee as close to the elbow as we can. My core is already tired. My core is also tired yesterday, so it probably doesn't help that not a whole lot of recovery time. All right, we're doing great. Coming over and across the body, exhaling as we come across. Exhaling is going to help us really engage that core. I'm struggling with these today. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. All right, those were not fun. Starting back at the top, we got our rotational bound, 45 seconds. 3, 2, 1. So gathering yourself, getting into that leg, jumping, landing, facing the other way, keeping that other foot off the ground. So we don't want our opposite leg on the ground. We're going to jump or bound more so, and then land nice and soft on that whole foot, sink into that hip. So all of the weight is going to be in the glutes. So we're here, back, butt is back, kind of like we're doing the RDO. Then we're jumping, snapping those hips around, getting that rotation in. So this is a lot of rotational power from the hips today, not necessarily from the core. 3, 2, 1. All right. Next up, our rotational squat to press. These dumbbells feel very heavy today. 3, 2, 1. So feet hip width, squat down, rotate across. It does help to exhale as we go through the movement, especially to help with that quickness here. Really important to make sure that as we turn, we're not arching the back. We want those hips directly below the shoulders, butt towards the pelvis, lock it in like someone's gonna punch you. We're keeping everything nice and tight through the core. Try not to arch that back. I know it can be a little hard because it seems more natural. 3, 2, 1. All right, we got 15 seconds this time. We're doing that same thing on the other arm. Starting to get hot again. All right, 3, 2, 1. So dumbbell at the shoulder, squatting down, pushing, really snapping those hips. So that left hip now blinding towards the right side. We want both of those hips to be facing that way. So we're blinding over here with our headlights, snapping through the hips. Like I said, this is a lot of rotation from the hips, not necessarily from the core. The hip is driving it, but our core is nice and tight. So that's how we're going to work our core here through this. Awesome. Keep pushing. We're almost there. 3, 2, 1. All right. Go ahead and set that dumbbell down. We're going to get ready for the lunge with rotation here. 3, 2, 1. So stepping back into that reverse lunge and then twisting towards the front leg, pushing that whole foot through the ground to stand back up. It does help to exhale as we are turning back to center from that rotation. So inhale, exhale, stand back up. I feel like I'm breathing extra heavy today. I'm going to attribute that to my 9.11 miles on the bike. Great job. 3, 2, 1. All right, last part. Plank knee to opposite elbow. I think my arms are sore from our push-ups that we did in exercise with excess yesterday. I'm just gonna say that. 3, 2, 1. We did too many push-ups for my liking. Now my arms are sore. Coming up, over, and across. Exhaling as we bring the knee to our elbow, engaging our core. Nice job. Keep pushing. If you need to take a rest, count to 3, right back into it. This can be hard. We're doing great. Use that core. 3, 2, 1. All right. Okay, we got one more round to go, and then we're going to cool down and go into our mindset reset today. 3, 2, 1. So that bound, rotational bound is last. So sink into that hip, jump, land, still sinking into that hip, and try not to fall over. I was not balanced. Keeping that core tight, helping with the balance, and then really using our butt to power through, but also to help us land. And we're not jumping terribly high, terribly far. We do want to challenge ourselves. I know we're not jumpers in this class. So that's why we can really just step and focus on pushing off as we rotate. That's going to help our hips. 3, 2, 1. All right. We also have no burpees in this class again today. So 2 days in a row without burpees from me. Consider yourselves lucky, I guess, because we all know I like to put burpees in like every class. All right, rotational squat into a press. 3, 2, 1. Last one of these. Not a fan of these today either. We're squatting down, pushing those hips, really snap. So it's really quick, powerful movement. Working on our explosiveness here. Again, great for all sports, but I really just think of softball and baseball when we do these ones. I do these with my girls pretty often, but usually we have a medicine ball, and instead of pressing, we're more like throwing the medicine ball with the hips. So anything like that's really going to be good for any sort of hip powerful or hip dominant movements. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Got one more of these to go. And then we only got our lunges and then our planks. And then we're done for the day. And all we have to do is do a little mindset work. We're going to be good. 3, 2, 1. So squatting down, exhaling, pressing up. Great job. We are blinding this way with our hips. So getting that hip around, really being forceful. It's a nice snap of the hips. So we're here and we're snapping. That's nice, explosive, and tiring. We're doing great. 3, 2, 1. All right. Done with the dumbbells for today. We got reverse lunge with rotation coming up next. Last 2 movements here. 3, 2, 1. Back, twist, pushing up, making sure that we're just using that front leg to stand up. If we need to lift that leg up off the ground a little sooner, feel free to do so to make sure that we're not pushing off the back leg. All in that front glute. That's where we should be feeling it. Pressing through the whole foot as we stand up. 3, 2, 1. All right. Last movement of the morning. Plank, knee to opposite elbow. Hopefully this one flies by because it's a shorter time. 3, 2, 1. On the hands and toes. Exhaling, coming over and across. Making sure our hands are right underneath the shoulders. Count to 3, right back into it. If you need to take a second. Don't want to rest too long, especially when we're almost done. Feeling this so much in my core today. We're doing great, finishing strong. 3, 2, 1. All right. We are done with the workout for the day. Nice job, y'all. Go ahead, get a sip of water if you need it. We're going to make our way on to the ground for our cool down. So we can go ahead and make our way onto our back. We're going to stretch out the backs of our hips first. Let's go ahead and do our Piriformis Stress. So we're going to put our right ankle over the left knee. If that feels good, go ahead and stay there, or we can interlace those fingers and grab either behind the knee or in front of the shin. So we're pulling that knee towards the chest, and we're starting to slow our breathing down. You're taking nice big inhales through the nose, and then sighing away that tension with each exhale. Really starting to be mindful of the parts of your body that are tight today. And find those tight spots, picture it in your mind. And with each exhale, we're relieving ourselves of tension in that area. So just picture those muscles becoming nice and relaxed with each exhale. And we can do one more deep breath here. And on the exhale, let's go ahead and gently bring those feet down to the ground. And then we're going to go ahead and do that same thing on the other side. So left ankle above the right knee. If that feels good, go ahead and leave it there. If you need a little more attention, we're going to interlace those fingers and grab either behind the knee or in front of the shin, pulling the knee towards the chest. Same thing here. Nice, big, deep inhales into the belly. And sighing away that tension. Exhaling nice and long and slow. Picturing those muscles get nice and loose with each exhale. And on our next exhale, we'll do one more deep breath. On the next exhale, we're going to go ahead and gently release out of that stretch. And from here, we're going to go ahead and do some bretzel. So we're going to get a nice rotation here. We're going to open everything up. So I'm going to start off on my left side here. Right leg up, over, and across, or your top leg, top arm on top of that knee, and then grabbing onto our back or bottom leg with the top hand or the ankle, the foot, or if you need to grab like a towel, you can always wrap it around your ankle or a band. And from here, we're going to inhale to prepare, and we're going to exhale, gently opening up, bringing that top shoulder towards the ground. And once we're down here, slowing the breath down even more. Nice, big, deep belly breaths here. feeling our muscles relax with each exhale. So we don't want to be squeezing any muscles here. We're just breathing, letting our bodies get nice and relaxed. And as our body is relaxing, really allow our minds to really relax too. I know that sounds a little weird, but we're just letting go of any thoughts we have, focusing on the breath. Focusing on relaxing. We're going to do one more deep breath in this side. And on or after that exhale, we're going to go ahead and come out of that. And we're going to make our way onto our other side. Flip around here. We're going to do that same thing. So on the right side here, top leg up, over, and across, knee staying on the ground, top hand on that knee, and then grabbing the bottom leg with that top hand. A nice big inhale to prepare. And then we're going to exhale, bring that top shoulder towards the ground. Oh, I heard lots of cracking on that side. Same thing, we're really sawing away that tension, really letting our bodies relax. Picturing all of our tight muscles slowly relaxing. We're not squeezing any muscles with each exhale. We let go of more and more tension. Clear your minds of everything. Just focusing on the breath here. And we're going to do one more big deep breath. And on the exhale, we can gently release. And we can we'll lay here on our backs for a second. We'll just take a few seconds here. We're going to let our bodies really calm down, let our minds calm down. So what I want us to do here real quick before we finish, we're laying on our backs here. We're going to take a nice big deep inhales through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth, sighing away that tension. While we're doing this, focusing on the breath, I want us to think of one person in our lives that we're really grateful for. And I want you to think of this person, and I want you to just send them all the good vibes, all of your gratitude, and put all the positive energy into the world for them. And then once we've done that, we're going to think of one thing that we're grateful for today. Or two things, if you have two things you're grateful for. It can be anything. And then after that, we're going to tell ourselves what our intent is for the day. So come up with one thing that you are going to do today, whether that's showing up your best or being nice to everyone you talk to, whatever that intent is, think of that. Tell yourself what you're going to do today. And we're going to do one final deep breath. And you are more than welcome to stay laying on the ground. Take your time though. If you'd like to get up, you can return to seated, kneeling, or standing, but I definitely recommend staying on the ground. So that's going to be all the time we have for today's sport performance and mindset reset. So thank you all so much for joining me. You did great work today. We do have our 9/11 stair challenge, stair climb coming up today and all this weekend. So head over to SharePoint so you can find our Your Cause link to donate to the National Fallen Firefighters Fund, our foundation. Help us help the families affected by that tragedy of 9/11 20 years ago. So great job today. Thank you all for coming, and I hope you enjoy your weekend.